Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. Welcome to another episode, live stream, Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. We will be having Fan of the Month quiz, this day in Elvis history, Elvis photo and song of the week, the poll result. Hello all. I can see a lot of people there saying hello on the chat. Good evening to you. That's a jolly little tune, isn't it, that intro tune? I like it. Right, enough of that. Hello, everybody. And for everybody that's joining me, thank you very, very much. Your support is most appreciated. If you're not joining me live and you're watching this on playback, where were you? No, I understand. Ed says, do you have that tune copyrighted? No, I don't actually. It's copyright free. Hence, that's why I play it. If I played something that was copyrighted, unfortunately, it'd be blocked. Thanks for reminding me there, Maxine. It says good interview. Just a little reminder that I posted an interview during the week. I think it was Wednesday, with Terry Blackwell. There's Terry. He is a member of the Imperials Quartet, and of course you all know that the Imperials sang with Elvis from 1969 to 1971 on stage and in the studio, and that there is the picture you'll be looking for on the YouTube channel for the video. So I hope you enjoyed that, and just to let you know that there are more coming up. I've got a few more calls and letters to make and emails to send to get people on the show to speak to me for you, because at the end of the day, it's your channel. It's not my channel. I just do the work, but it's for you. Chris says, I like the intro. Any news yet on Elvis on tour? Anybody know? Well, there's a 50th anniversary box set of some form coming out, but it won't be just yet. Hi Dave, I didn't expect to see you here, but it's good to see you on here. Thanks Dave for popping in and doing the moderating, and of course marvelous Maxine as well. Sheila says happy Sunday. Elvis Lass, hi Michelle, watching tonight Steve, I look forward to it. Right, we're going to try and do something else a little bit different later on as well. I'm going to try and do an on-air poll. I'll post it on the comments. You'll see it on the comments and you click on your choice, and then we have a look at the end of the show to see what option won. I almost gave it away then. So keep... There's Priscilla. That's another thing that's just reminded me as well. If you didn't see last week's show, I rang Priscilla live during the show to let her know that she was the recipient of... Did I clear it off here? I probably did, didn't I? I did have a picture of what she won. It was the canvas. It was the Elvis canvas. So anyway, never mind, unfortunately. As I say, I've cleared it off. And what I did yesterday, I think, I clipped the part of the show that I rang her, and I've uploaded it. So if you didn't see it, if you weren't tuned in last week or you didn't see the replay, then go to that video and have a look. It's very sweet, and it's her reaction. Priscilla's reaction was priceless, I must admit. And she got the prize, as far as I know, on, was it Thursday, Priscilla? I think it was Thursday you received your prize. And if Norset 45 is looking in as well, I've got your email and I'll sort that out in the next day or two as well. Norset was actually the winner of the Fan of the Month for January. And while I'm on the subject, I want to just show you that this is what we're playing for this month. This is February's prize for Fan of the Month. So if you can join in, and you will, everybody that gets an answer right, if you get the most answers correct during February, then that prize is yours. And it's open to all viewers. It doesn't matter where you live, whether it's America, out of Mongolia, anywhere, I will post it to you and it won't cost you a penny. Right, will we dive into this this week's topic, which is Elvis's 19th movie, Harum Scarum. Now, it was actually known as Harum Holiday in the UK, and just to prove it, there is the UK LP cover, and it quite clearly says Harum Holiday. I'll leave that up there for a second, will I? Harum Scarum, released in the UK as Harum Holiday, is a 1965 American musical comedy film starring Elvis, which was shot in the original Cecil B. DeMille set from the film The King of Kings, with additional footage shot on location at the Iverson Movie Ranch at Chatsworth, Los Angeles. This is just a very, very quick resume of the movie. Some of the film was based on Rudolph Valentino's The Sheik, released in 1921. Let's show some pictures of Elvis during the filming. The film reached number 11 on the Variety National Weekly Box Office chart, earned $2 million at the box office, and finished 40 on the year end list of the top grossing films of 1965. The film is listed in Golden Raspberry Awards. That doesn't sound too good. Founder John Wilson's book, The Official Razzle Movie Guide, as one of the 100 most enjoyably bad movies ever made. So, yeah, so let me think about this at the moment. One of the 100 most enjoyably bad movies ever made. Okay. I think I'll just let that stand there. But I think what they're saying there is, even though it was a bad movie, they enjoyed it. Okay. I enjoyed it. And looking at some of these pictures here now, you can see just how fabulous Elvis Presley looked. That's more than enough. So Elvis was Johnny Tyrone, Mary-Ann Mobley as Princess Shalimar, and Fran Jeffries as Aisha. Elvis plays American movie star Johnny Tyrone, who goes to the Middle East to premiere his new picture. He is seduced by the lovely Aisha, then kidnapped by a man named Sinan, who wants Johnny to help him kill the king in the town of Bar Eshalam. He escapes the palace with the help of a slave girl, Shalimar. Once out of the palace walls, Johnny tells her that he was brought to the Middle East to assassinate the king, which causes Shalimar to run off in fear, as she turns out to be the king's daughter. Johnny meets up with fellow escapee Zakha and makes a plan to foil the assassination plan by joining a troupe of musicians who will be going to entertain the people of Bar Ashlam on the last day of Ramadan. Okay. Johnny successfully befriends the troupe, but that night they are ambushed by Aisha's and her men after being betrayed by Zakha. Aisha orders Johnny to go through with the assassination after threatening the lives of the musicians and their children. Meanwhile, Princess Shalimar cannot shake her the feelings that she has for Johnny. Well, looking at the photograph there, who can blame her? On the day of the festivities, Johnny reluctantly moves in to kill the king, but is thwarted by Shalimar. Johnny, the musicians, and the kids are sentenced to death. The troupe is spared death after they are rescued by their associate, a dwarf named Baba. Johnny breaks into the king's room and convinces him that he was blackmailed into the plot, and also he confesses his love to Shalimar. The king believes Johnny and with the help and helps him infiltrate Sinan's lair, where it is revealed that the man who orchestrated the assassination plot was none other than the king's brother, Prince Dragna. Johnny manages to overpower Sinan, but learns that his army has grown in number and taken the town by force. Johnny, the king, Shalimar, the musicians, and the remorseful Shaka gather at as many of the king's most loyal servants to battle the assassins and take back the town, while the king enters Dragna's hideout, vowing revenge. However, it is revealed that rather than kill Dragna, he has chosen to banish him after beating him in the game of chess. Johnny asked the king not to banish him to the United States. With order restored, Johnny and his new royal bride honeymoon in Las Vegas, along with a few of her dancing girls. So it's a bit of a mix-mash of a plot, but along the way, of course, Elvis sings some songs, and we'll get to that in a minute. Production. Upon hearing about the movie for the first time, Elvis loved the idea of his character being similar to a sheik. Eventually, he grew tired of the film because his character was made to look foolish. Similar to Elvis's misconception of the script, Colonel Tom Parker thought the film was a comedy and suggested introducing a talking camel. Well, thank goodness that didn't fly. Reception. Vincent Canby of the New York Times wrote in a negative review that Elvis walked through the film with all the animation of a man under deep sedation. But then he had read the script. Okay. Variety wrote that the picture suffers from a lack of imagination in providing Elvis with a substantial showcase, but that the 8 song numbers in the film would probably meet with a response similar to Elvis's past entries. Margaret Hartford of the Los Angeles Times wrote, "Nobody, least of all Elvis, can bring parody to heel in this effort from MGM, directed by Gene Nelson." She says, "Elvis isn't Bob Hope, and Marianne Mobley, beauty winner though she is, won't pass as Dorothy Lamour. But put them together, you realise right off that Harum Scarum isn't going to be much fun." Well, some Elvis fans think it is, and some Elvis fans think it's probably his worst movie. Home media. Harum Scarum was released by to DVD by Warner Home Video on August the 7th, 2007. The soundtrack, the recording sessions took place at RCA Studio B in Nashville, Tennessee. Now that in itself actually is quite unusual because most of the recording sessions for the soundtrack albums took place in radio recorders. The recording sessions were on February 24th, 25th, 26th, 1965, and the soundtrack album peaked at number 8 on the top LPs chart. So that's not bad. Number 8. Although 1965 had seen the release of Elvis for Everyone, a studio album which was actually recorded over a 10-year period, dating back as far back as some of his recordings from Sun Studios, and a surprising worldwide hit for a 5-year-old gospel track, Crying in the Chapel, it was back to the grind of making soundtracks. Elvis continued to grumble about the material and the continued pressure put on the stable of songwriters. The writing team of Giant Bomb and Kay alone had provided 17 of 47 songs on the past 4 soundtracks in an 18-month period, but he soldiered on with as much grace as possible. Well, we also know that Elvis does that. You know, as bad as the material might have been, he gave it his all. In reality, almost any song could have been squeezed into the storylines, including old classics, but as long as sales continued, the formula required guaranteed control of publishing new songs by the same songwriters. However, Elvis sales were plummeting in music stores as well as ticket sales at the box office, so this was probably the beginning of the end for the movie Elvis movies. 11 songs were recorded for Harum Scarum, and all were used and issued on the soundtrack, with 2 of the tracks omitted in the film. As with Roustabout, no singles were issued in conjunction with the album. The film and its soundtrack are widely considered one of the lowest points of Elvis's career. I actually saw a few comments before I came on, actually, and some were saying that this was probably Elvis's worst movie. In 2003, Harum Scarum was reissued on the Follow That Dream label in a special edition that contained the original album tracks with numerous alternate takes. So that's that. What did everybody think of Harum Scarum? I see Norset is on the chat there now, and if you didn't hear me say at the start of the show, Norset, I've got your email and I'll take care of that in the next few days. We have a call already. Very interesting. Hi, Duncan. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Well, what do you think of what most people think Elvis's worst movie?
I've actually got a bit of a soft spot for it.
Yeah, I actually, I wouldn't call it Elvis's worst movie. In fact, I will be. When we get to the end of these movies, I'm going to tell you what I think was his worst movie.
Yeah, I think I think it depends on how you look at it. Yes, was the budget quite low? Yes, can you see in places that it was? But Elvis's presence and his acting makes it more than the sum of its parts, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He lifts it. And I think if you look at it a bit like a Disney film aimed at a younger age group, I think it really works as that type of a movie. In terms of the larger-than-life characters, in terms of, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he actually looked good as a Sheik as well, didn't he?
Very much so, yeah. And I think actually the film does look quite good.
Yeah.
Yes, the budget can be seen in places, but I think, as I say, he lifts it. I think the soundtrack's actually a pretty good soundtrack. There's quite a few that I like in there. It's not my favourite soundtrack by any means, but probably my favourite, if I was to, So Close Yet So Far from Paradise. I like.
Yeah, that would be a strong contender when we come to the poll, I would think, anyway.
Yeah, I like that. I like even Mirage. I quite like.
Some people actually mention Mirage.
It fits within the narrative of the movie itself, within the story, and so many of them do. They don't feel, they're not stretched to fit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I quite like that in a soundtrack.
He did look bored at times though, and he looks very, very bored actually on the album cover. And now I'm not sure whether he's trying to look sultry or whether he just looks bored, but to me he looks bored in a lot of publicity photographs for the movie.
I think it was Priscilla's book way back in the 80s. Did she not say that when he first got the script for it, he was so enthused, as you said tonight, for it?
Yeah.
But I think she said that he actually, for days afterwards, walked around Graceland dressed in the Sheik costume.
Did he really?
I'm sure I think it was Priscilla's book. I've certainly read that somewhere.
Right.
And I suppose, again, it's that he gave his all in everything that he did. But
he did.
There must have been disappointment for him when he actually got there and saw what the script panned out to be.
Yeah,
because I think he had in his head a sort of Valentino type role, which he would have been amazing in.
He would have.
But again, I think he's better than the scripts he was given.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he looks really good in some of the photographs where he's dressed as a sheik and he has the sword and so forth. But thank heavens that they didn't take up
the talking camel.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that just would have finished me off, I think.
It speaks volumes of where Parker's priorities were, though, doesn't it?
And what he thought of Elvis and his movie career, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I just say as well, Steve, while I'm on, loved the interview that you posted.
Thank you very much. He was
really good.
He was a really great guy. I got on with him really, really well. He was such a great guy.
That came over really, really well. And I have to say, we are so appreciative of all that you do with these interviews. What you're documenting history while these people are still here to be spoken to, and I think that's really important. And I'm aware of the amount of work that you put into that, and it's worth saying we really appreciate it because it is incredibly important to Elvis and to the world of Elvis fans that these memories don't just die.
That's very kind. I must admit, I mean, yes, there is an awful lot of work in setting it up and working it all out and then getting it all together and then the post-production and everything like that. But because I enjoy it so much, I don't really look at it as work, if that makes sense.
Sure.
But
we do appreciate it. We really do.
Thank you very much. That's very kind, Duncan. Okay.
Good to talk to you, Steve.
See you. Bye-bye. Bye.
All the best. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's a very nice call. Thanks, Duncan. Yes, thank goodness they didn't take up the idea of a talking camel. That really would have just made an utter farce of it, really, wouldn't it? Priscilla says, well said, Duncan. Super Steve. Thank you very much, Priscilla. What's this? Hello, who's calling the show?
Hello, I'm Danny.
Hi, Danny. I think you're new to the show. I don't think I've spoke to you before.
Well, I've watched the show a couple of times, but I'm from the Netherlands, so it's always different with the times.
What time is it there now at the moment?
10 minutes for 9 in the evening.
Ah, yeah, it's 10 to 8 here in Ireland, so you're probably an hour.
Okay.
You're probably an hour ahead of us. So,
Okay, it's Ireland.
thanks very much for ringing in. It's nice to speak to you. And what would you like to say?
Well, yeah, talk about the Harum Scarum. It's when I was a child, it was my favorite movie.
Really?
Yeah. It's what the guy before me said about the Disney feeling of the movie that I had when I was a child with the movie, and I love the songs.
And which would be your favorite from the movie?
Wisdom of the Ages.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It's a good song, and it got a message in it. A good message.
I mean, there's a strong contender is So Close Yet So Far from
sure,
Paradise.
Sure.
But it's quite interesting to hear people saying Wisdom of the Ages as well.
Yeah, it's a great song, man.
Yeah.
And So Close and Yet So Far, the scene that he sitting in the cell of the jail, it was so, how do you say it in English, man?
Atmospheric.
I'm sorry?
Atmospheric. It had great atmosphere.
Yeah. You can see the passion in his singing. Was it not? He was playbacking, but you can see in his motion that he was a great actor.
Yes. If he could have, I mean, we know from King Creole and Jailhouse Rock and those sort of things that he could be a good dramatic actor.
Sure.
And this, if this had been a different script and a different storyline and so forth, this could have been another sort of along the lines of King Creole, but unfortunately it wasn't to be.
No.
And as you say, it was sort of done on the cheap as well because they were reusing sets and things like that, weren't they?
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, man. No, I really, I want to say to you, thanks for the channel that you made on YouTube. I found you on YouTube, and it's so great to hear all the people talk about Elvis, people that you interviewed.
Yes.
Did
you hear the Terry Blackwell interview I did last week?
A few minutes.
Yes.
I'm gonna listen to after this.
Very good. Well, thank you very much for your support. I mean, and everybody that supports and watches the shows and so forth and watches the videos. I'm very, very grateful because what we're trying to do here is we're trying to keep Elvis's legacy alive and try to keep it going because I think he's worth it.
Yes, really worth it. I'm a singer too.
Oh, right.
And I started to sing on my 14th. And I got the bass in my voice, so I started to sing Dean Martin, Elvis Presley, and Elvis helped me through my life, man.
Yeah, he did.
Without Elvis, I wasn't maybe not here anymore.
Yeah, Elvis Presley has helped a lot of people through dark times. He's been a constant in most people's lives. Most things come and go in lots of people's lives, but Elvis seems to remain that constant.
Yeah, sure, man. That's great. I really love the guy, man. Yeah.
Okay, Danny, thanks very much. And please call back again. It was great to talk to you. It really was.
Try to talk my English better then.
No, you're coming through loud and clear. It's great. We can understand you. And it was a great call. Thanks very much.
Okay, have a nice evening.
Same to you. Thanks, Danny.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Danny. That was a really, really nice call, and thanks for calling in. And anybody else as well, don't be shy. After the movie, I've explained about the movie and so forth. It's great. Yeah, another call. Hi, Mark.
Hello, Steve. How you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. All the better for speaking to you, my man.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I just want to say, great interview on Wednesday. I tuned in, and that's fantastic, mate. Great.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy. Guy.
I've met him a couple of times.
Oh, right.
In Memphis. Yeah, I met him in '97, and I've met him again in 2002 on the 30th.
Yeah.
2007, I should say, on the 30th. Yeah, and I met all the Imperials, and I met Joe as well because I know we just lost Joe a few years back, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is he the last one remaining? Do you know?
Yeah,
Of the
I think he said, if I remember rightly during the interview, that he's the only one now of the original Imperials that worked with
Right.
Elvis. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's kind of keeping it going. But you could tell by the way he spoke, he just thought an awful lot of Elvis. He thought an awful lot of Elvis personally, but he also thought a lot of Elvis as a singer and his talent.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. You must have seen that, in rehearsal room and on stage, and the different way Elvis used to put a song over, like he said about the songs he used to sing, like Bridge Over Troubled Water and all that, didn't he?
Yeah.
How fantastic it was, yeah.
And can you imagine being on the stage there on the 31st of July when Elvis came back to live performances? And Terry was there, and he said it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, amazing.
So, Harum Scarum?
Right, Harum Scarum, where do we start?
Yeah.
Well, people do say it's his worst film and worst soundtrack, but I don't think so. I'm a bit with you. I've got my opinion on the worst one. Do you want it or not?
Yeah, you can give it me now. I'm not gonna give mine until we've done Charo in a few weeks' time, and then I'm gonna tell you what I thought was his worst film.
Well, really, I think Elvis's worst film and worst soundtrack to me would be Clambake.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because I just think it's not the strongest one, and I know it's got the likes of Guitar Man on the album, which is great, and Big Boss Man. They are great songs. But
they were bonus. They were exactly. They were bonuses, weren't they?
Yeah, and I just think Elvis didn't look his best in that film. It wasn't his best year. I just think the whole film was a bit. But Harum Scarum, I think again, it wasn't a great script. You can see it was done on a cheaper budget, but I thought the album was great. Some of the songs on the album, like So Close Yet So Far, Desert Serenade, and I really think it has two of the great bonus songs on the album, Wisdom of the Ages, and I can't think of the other one there. There's another one on the album.
Yeah, there is, and I've drawn a blank as well. If anybody can help us on the chat, please do.
I've got it. Animal Instincts. That's it.
Oh, Animal Instinct is right. Why, we both just had a blank there, didn't we?
Oh no, both had a blank there. Yeah, but I think they're both great songs, and they're great songs. Of course, they weren't in the movie, but I just think the album it's one that I play quite a lot because it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
But again, the script wasn't the best, of course, but but Elvis had to do, and he did what he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
He seemed to do the best he could.
I think if Colonel Parker had got the talking camel approved, I think even Elvis would have said enough's enough. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not talking to a camel.
Well, that's something probably a lot of Renard, would have done one of them, wouldn't they? But nah, I think he couldn't have done that. Been shocking, wouldn't it, for Elvis's career?
Yeah.
But I think he looked great. He had a great suntan, didn't he? He looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the chic get up really suited him.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, it's just a shame it wasn't a stronger script. I think it was a stronger script. So I think it would have been a really good film, because there was parts in the film where it was good, but again, like I've explained over the weeks, it's coming to that period of time, isn't it?
Yeah, we're in a bit of a dodgy period now for the next few weeks. The next few Sundays are going to be a bit iffy.
yeah, it is. But but I'm an Elvis fan. I enjoyed the soundtrack. I've got the album and I've got the FTD as well. And there's some great little outtakes and songs on there as well. So it's enjoyable enough to play, I think, anyway.
Great. Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed the Terry Blackwell interview as well. And as I said to the caller earlier on, there is more in the pipeline. I just hope I can get them lined up for you.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to hear, because we're getting to that stage where now there's not a lot left, is there?
No. I'm really against the clock. I feel I am against the clock.
Yeah. So it's nice to hear, these stories of Elvis singing live and everything else. It's great, and it's great for you to spend your time doing it.
Yeah,
we all appreciate it, mate.
Yeah, and I love it. I really do. All right, Mark. All right.
Okay, mate.
Cheers. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. So thanks for the call, Mark. Very good call. Let's do a few Harum Scarum, the poll, I put in there Harum Holiday, Go East Young Man, Kismet, Wisdom of the Ages, which was a bonus track, and So Close Yet So Far from Paradise. Danielle says, I was having a hard time choosing between Wisdom of the Ages and So Close. I finally settled for So Close from the heartfelt intensity at the end of the song. Hey Little Girl gets a mention too. What have I put? I need to find a piece of paper here. Sorry about that. Angel Baby, hi Angel Baby, says So Close Yet So Far. EP Fanatic, I don't understand why this soundtrack gets such a bad rep. I get the movie is one of his worst. Okay, but there are some great songs on the album. That's what a lot of people have been saying, actually. Just to name a few: Kismet, Animal Instinct, Mirage, Shake That Tambourine, and So Close Yet So Far from Paradise. That's nearly all of them. Elvis's voice is so rich and awesome on these songs, and I always enjoy listening to this album. I wonder whether, because the soundtrack was recorded at Studio B instead of radio recorders, it made a difference to the actual sound quality and the quality of the soundtrack recordings. That's a thought, isn't it? Joy Lamanca, hi Joy, says Wisdom of the Ages, the little brother of My Way, and fitting Elvis studies like a glove. So Close Yet So Far, strong vocals, smooth baritone, expressing tension and longing for Anne? Question mark. It's my song for today. Only for today. Elvis Lass, hi Michelle, I know you're watching. So Close is absolutely one of my fave movie songs. Animal Instinct is also amazing. I love Hey Little Girl. I love all the songs in the film, so it's hard to kind of pick, isn't it? Jill Brett, I love So Close. He looks so damn gorgeous. Almost a sin to look like that. EAB1608 says, I guess So Close. Watched that movie last year. Really is his worst. Okay. Elvis Tours 6977 says Golden Coins gives off a mystic feeling and I love it. Not many people mention Golden Coins, so it's quite an odd one, that, but okay, that's a good one. Jim Tyler says, years back, an older colleague shared a personal anecdote concerning Harum Holiday. Back in the day, he said he was riding on a train and one of the other passengers in the compartment had an LP with them. He was transfixed, he said, by the face on the cover. Okay. This incredible man in a Middle Eastern garb. By and by, he realized that the man was Elvis and continued his story thus. Of course, by that time, Elvis had become a byword for drivel. Okay. I have waited 25 years to share that. He says, I love this album. I recently got a copy with the picture inside in New York. I'll go to the ends of the earth for an Elvis record. All right. Okay. Right. So, and one last one. Cristobal Gonzalez Valaquez says Mirage. So, not many people mention Mirage, but there you go. And I'm going to show you the poll, and it wasn't even close. So close yet so far from Paradise, and it wasn't even close. As you can see on the screen, 78% of people have said So Close Yet So Far. I will let you know what my song of the week is near the end of the show. It might surprise you, it might not. Harum Holiday, the closest, was 70% behind at 8%, and then 4%, and Kismet 5%, Wisdom of the Ages 5%. So, yeah, wasn't even close. I don't think anybody was surprised at that. Will we do the fan of the month? Dave, I'm not sure if you're still here, if you want to mod and let me know who gives the first correct answer. Maxine, stand by. Today, it's just kind of general knowledge questions. I know that you like the name the song when I give you the first letter of each word of a song. That'll come back maybe in a week or two. Oh, I've got to put up on the screen, of course, what we are playing for. That is what we are playing for February's Fan of the Month Aloha from Hawaii 3 CD box set. I don't even think it has actually been released yet. I think it's another week or two before it's released. So whoever gets the most correct answers this month. Oh, Dave's gone, Steve. Okay, all right. Well, it's just Maxine, is it? Okay, no problem. Blue Moon Boy 1956. Hi all, I've subscribed. Thank you very, very much. That's very kind. And like I say, if you haven't already subscribed, click that subscribe button. Turn the bell black. It has to be black because then it's all notifications, not just personalized, and you don't hardly get any notifications. Banjo Paul says, I got my pen and pencil ready. Well, I don't know whether you need a pen this time. You need the pen when I do the letters one, the first letter of each word of each song title. Please hit the like button as well. And also, as I say at the end of most shows as well, you can actually, if you want to support this channel, you can buy me coffee by using the link below. I like coffee and it goes towards things like these prizes and things like that. Right, so stand by, everybody. 6 questions. Week 2 of 4 weeks, February the 13th. Right, this is a bit of a long question, and I thought of this one all by myself. I was quite pleased when I came up with this question, and I thought this could stump quite a few people. Who was the only artist to follow Elvis from the Nashville recording sessions to his stage show in Las Vegas? So you know how they had like the Nashville session musicians that did recordings with Elvis in Studio B. There was one particular person who came from Studio B and joined him on stage in 1969, 1970 in Las Vegas. Who was that person? Okay, I'm getting James Burton, Chet Atkins, Ronnie Tutt, Charlie Hodge, Glenn Campbell. I think I'm going to give myself this question. Duke Bardwell wasn't until 1974, I don't think. No, it wasn't James Burton, David Briggs, Glenn Campbell. No. Okay, Mark has got it because I know who he means. Millie Kirkham. Yes, it was Millie Kirkham. Well done. Well done, Mark. Michael Bellany says Millie Kirkham as well. Well done. Oh, by the way, I've got to give Mark this. No. Wrong button. That's what I've got to give him. Okay, yeah. Oh, a lot of people are saying Millie Kirkham now. Yes. But I just need to know from... well done, Mark. Thanks, Maxine. Yeah, Millie Kirkham. The beautiful, high voice Millie Kirkham. Oh, this is an easier one. What month was the original recording of It's Now or Never recorded? Okay. This is what we're playing for, folks. We're not playing for the car. That's Gladys's car. We're paying for that. February Fan of the Month prize. Aloha from Hawaii. Okay. The correct answer is April. And I took my eye off the comments. So I need to know from Maxine who was the first person to say April. It was actually at the second recording session after he came back from the army. Yeah, and wrong button, outtakes. Okay, Ed Kaislor. Okay. Oh, I don't believe it. I hit the wrong button again. Okay. Well done, Ed. You get a... Oy. Okay, here we go. That would be a whole different game if you were giving away a pink Cadillac. Yeah, I could really be Elvis, couldn't I? Giving away a Cadillac. A lot of people now, Anula, Ruth, a lot of people saying April. Well done. Yeah, John, you're right. Too much coffee. But don't forget, you can buy me coffee. I can never have enough coffee. Okay, another easy one. Well, I think it's easy. And it's, how many tracks did the original Kid Galahad soundtrack album have? All right. How many tracks did the original Kid Galahad studio soundtrack album have? Some people are saying 7, 5, 4, 10, 7, 6. Right. 5107 Lois said 6. I just need confirmation that it was an EP. So it was 6. Helen Ludlow says nil. Why do you say that, Helen? Okay. Priscilla 6. Well done. Trick question. It was an EP, not an album. Good point. Good point, Blue Moon Boy. Yes, I should have said EP, but then that might have given it away. Yeah. Okay, just waiting now to see who was the first. And they can get the... Yeah, because it was an album, not an EP. It wasn't an album, it was an EP. You're quite correct. I should have made that clear. So was it 5107 Lois? I think it was. Yeah, thanks, Maxine. I want to be very, very careful the way I write out some of these questions. Where do we answer your polls? Well, what I do was I normally put them up sort of Wednesday-ish, and if you go to this channel and you go to the community tab, because I think there's something like home videos, community, things like that. If you click on the community, it'll give the polls there. Okay. And by the way, I'm gonna post it in a minute on the chat, the actual live poll, and see how that works. It's just an experiment I'm doing. Right, next question is, name the title of Elvis's 22nd feature film or movie. Okay, what was Elvis's 22nd movie? Okay, we've got Ed again with Spin Out, which is correct. So I just need to know now if Ed is going to get a... A lot of people saying clam bake, charo, spin-off. Spin-off? I like that. I like that, Norzette. Spin-off. Speedway. It was actually Spin Out. Baby, baby, spin out. I love it when he does that. Yeah, Megan Nonky says she loves Spin Out. Okay, so that was Ed. So Ed can definitely get a... For anybody that's said anything else, you can have this. Oh, okay. Elvis gave a post-army interview at Graceland in 1960. Where was that interview conducted? All right. There was a specific location at Graceland Estate. Where was it? Okay. I can see David Ewing there, Vernon's office. So if you can just confirm that for me, Maxine. He looked pretty fantastic in that interview as well, didn't he? David? Vernon's office. Secretary's office. Yeah, I would have accepted that. Vernon's office. Okay, David, you say you spelled it wrong, but I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Okay. Right. So we've got sixth and final question. Right. You should sing. Good voice. Thanks very much. Okay. Right. Sixth and final question. Oh, yeah. Priscilla likes the way I say fantastic. Give me the connection between Don't Be Cruel and Paralyzed. I think we might do the live on chat poll after this. See how it works. I'll probably end up making a mess of it. Right. Norset, says Otis Blackwell. Just well done, Norset. Norset 45. Just confirm that for me, please, Maxine. And that is week 2 of 4 of February Fan of the Month quiz for, I knew I'd get that wrong, not the Cadillac, but the February Fan of the Month quiz is the Haloa from Hawaii 3 CD box set. Thanks, Maxine, for confirming that. Let's see if this will work. I'm going to take the Haloa prize off. And I'm going to go into this and I'm going to ask the community a question. Now, has that worked, I wonder? Which is your favorite track from Elvis Is Back? Make Me Know It, The Girl of My Best Friend, Such a Night, Reconsider Baby. And just click on your choice and then we'll have a look to see what comes out top at the end of the show. I'm going to cast my vote. No, it won't let me. Probably because, I don't know. Just won't. Anyway. Fair enough. Right. Let me go into docs. It might let me vote. I don't know. No, it won't. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. So let's do Elvis history, Sunday, February the 13th. February the 13th, 1948. I've got pictures of this as well, which is here. Elvis got a Tupelo Public Library card made out to Elvis Aaron Presley, age 13, and signed by Gladys. And there it is. Aaron with 1A. And they were at 1010 North Green Street. I'm going to see if I can vote here. Let me vote. Just for the sake of it. It might not let me vote. No. Okay, never mind. 1955. Here's an interesting one. Elvis performed at the Fair Park Coliseum, Lubbock, Texas at 4 p.m. The advertisement said, Elvis Presley, I'll take this phone call, will I? Hello, Maxine.
Hello.
Well, you're late on parade.
I know. I wasn't going to ring in, but I thought I might as well.
Yeah, why not? Why not? What was I going to say? So what do you think of Harum Holiday, Harum Scarum?
I haven't actually seen it.
Oh, haven't you?
No, I have not seen that one.
Right, okay. Well, what do you think from the pictures and things like that? He looks pretty damn gorgeous, doesn't he?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, real Rudolph Valentino sort of thing, isn't it?
I think he looks better than Rudolph Valentino.
Oh yeah, well, of course he does.
Oh yeah,
of course he does, without doubt. Well, obviously you've heard the soundtrack album though.
I've not listened to that either.
Oh, haven't you? Right.
No, not yet.
Actually, I meant to say, I just remembered, So Close Yet So Far from Paradise was used on a crisp, or what they know in the United States as chips advert there a few years ago. Walker's Crisps Chips, So Close Yet So Far from Paradise. Yeah, I mean, they do use Elvis for a lot in advertising, actually, and that's what that one sprung to mind. So you haven't seen the movie, and you haven't heard the sound. That's terrible. Right, you've got to watch the movie and you've got to listen to the soundtrack, young lady.
I'll do my homework then.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say?
Just thank you for all that you do.
Oh, thanks.
But his pictures do look good in there, though.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll tell you something. I can ask you, did you hear the Terry Blackwell interview?
I did. It was really, really good.
Yeah. I'm real envious of Terry actually being on stage with Elvis the 31st of July 1969 when he burst back onto live performances. It must have been just electrifying.
Oh, I can just imagine the feeling of it.
And then, of course, being on stage with him for 1970, and then during That's the Way It Is as well, another great movie.
Oh no, I've got that one on my YouTube channel actually.
Yeah.
I brought it, so.
And really, really nice fella as well, Terry. Really nice fella.
Yeah, he sounded really nice as well.
I was really worried for a while because every time I was free to do the interview, he wasn't. And when he was free, I wasn't. So I thought, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? And it finally all fell into place. And we actually mentioned it. No. We actually mentioned it at the end of the interview. Thankfully, we got to speak to one another. I'm so glad it worked out. And I've got a few more lined up as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll come to fruition in the next few weeks. And one of them is... well, really big. Really, that's all I can say at the moment.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, I know. But these things, I won't say who it is because they'll jinx it. But keep tuned, everybody. Yeah. Okay, nice to hear from you.
You too, Steve.
Thanks for modding and keep up the running.
All right. I will do.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Right. We were at 1955, Lubbock, Texas, 4 p.m. The advertisement said Elvis Presley, the bebop western star of the Louisiana Hayride, returns to Lubbock. This was the first booking that Neil had obtained directly through the Colonel, and the group was paid $350 for their performance. Now, this is the interesting part. A young Buddy Holly was at the bottom of this bill as half of the country and western duo Buddy and Bob. And there's a photograph. You can see Buddy on the extreme right. You can see Elvis there, arrowed. You couldn't really miss Elvis, could you? And it says Elvis Presley signs autographs and greets fans while Buddy Holly and Bob Montgomery look outside the Cotton Club. Look on, that should say, outside the country club in Lubbock, 1955. 1956, Elvis performed at the Paramount Theatre, Newport News, Virginia at 4:30, 7 and 9 p.m. Due to the overflow crowds, there was a fourth show at 11 p.m. Can you imagine Elvis doing a show at 9 p.m. and then being told, you've got to go on again at 11? 1958, Elvis Presley's Don't I Beg of You became number one on the Billboard chart. It was his last number one before being inducted into the army. 1959, Elvis created a traffic jam at Friedberg when he stopped to sign autographs. 1961, Elvis's album His Hand in Mine hit number 13 in the US. It was Elvis's first wholly religious album. 1966, Spin Out. That was we mentioned Spin Out earlier on, didn't we? It was an answer to one of the questions, and there's a still from Spin Out. 1970, 71 and 72, dinner and midnight shows in Las Vegas, the International Hotel, and later, of course, the Hilton. 1973, Elvis continued to be ill and his doctors recommended that he cancel both shows. He did the dinner show, but following the advice, cancelled the midnight shows both on this night and the next. And 1977, 1975, Elvis in hospital again, unfortunately. 1976, there was an agreement drawn up between Elvis's real estate developer, T. Michael McMahon, Joe Esposito, and Dr. Nick for the creation of a chain of racquetball courts around the country to be called Presley Center Courts. And 1977, here we go, Elvis performed at the Auditorium, West Palm Beach, Florida. There you have it. And there's some nice shots of Palm Beach, Florida. Will I do the pick of the week and then my song of the week? We'll have a look actually in a minute at how the poll is going. I don't know whether I can actually. I can, yes. Which is your favorite track from Elvis's Back? Okay, yeah. Quite surprising that. Okay. Right. So let me do the pick of the week. I'll do the pick of the week from Harum Scarum stroke Harum Holiday, which is this one. And I don't really know what to say about that. It was, it was quite difficult to pick one from Harum Scarum because he looked so great in a lot of the photographs, especially with the chic garb and so forth, So that's, and I'm then going to show you what I've picked a cold shower photograph as well. And again, we mentioned this in the quiz, and it's this one, which is taken outside the Vernon's office just before he went in, or probably just after he did the interview. And look at that fantastic hair, and look at those eyes, ladies. What do you think of that? Oh my goodness, he was gorgeous. Yes, Nancy, he certainly was. March 1960. Yeah, Wet Blanket says 1960 is correct. Okay, now let's have a look at my song of the week. Is from Harum Scarum, and I'll leave that photograph up from March 1960, I think. Obviously, it's from Harum Scarum. It was written by Joan Byers. She is also known for writing Timmy Euro's 1962 hit, What's the Matter, Baby? Joy also wrote Hey Little Girl and Mirage. Now, obviously, we know Timmy Euro from Hurt as well, one that Elvis covered very, very successfully in 1976 and 77 from the Jungle Room sessions, and also then live on tour. As I say, she also wrote Hey Little Girl and Mirage for the movie, but for me, this song wins hands down as the best from Harum Scarum. And it's the one that won the poll as well, with 78% of the votes. It's so close, yet so far from Paradise. Elvis did 4 takes in Studio B on February the 25th, 1965. Take 1 was complete. Take 2 was a false start. 3 and 4 were complete, and the master that went on the Harum Scarum LP was a splice of 3 and 4. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a link below after I finish this video that covers the whole session, the whole recording of So Close Yet So Far from Paradise. So I hope you will enjoy that. Now, what have I got here? I was going to do the poll, wasn't I? Which is your favorite track from Elvis is Back? Make Me Know It, The Girl of My Best Friend, and Such a Night, and Reconsider Baby. And the winner is, drum roll, Such a Night. And I've got there you go. Which is your favorite track? Such a Night, 46%. Girl of My Best Friend, 23. Reconsider, 20. Make Me Know It, 9. Hello, Priscilla.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
How are you getting on with the canvas? Is divorce yet on the cards?
Well, no, I felt the need to ring and say a public thank you. And what were you doing to me yesterday posting that clip?
Oh, you didn't mind, did you? I hope you didn't.
Not at all, not at all. No, it made my week, and I wanted to defend my poor husband.
Oh, right.
He was equally as impressed with it as I was.
Yeah, and he's probably not an Elvis fan.
Well, he after almost 30 years together, I think by osmosis he might be.
Yes, well, that's true. Yeah. No, I mean, my wife is a casual Elvis fan as well. I mean, she came with me to Memphis and Graceland and so forth. So I think you're right. It kind of rubs off on them, I think.
Well, when you're as great as Elvis is,
exactly,
people can't help but love you.
Exactly, I agree.
Particularly when you have somebody or people as enthusiastic as us telling them, that they should love him.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say thanks a million, Steve. And you weren't bigging it up. It's fantastic.
Ah, yes, fantastic.
Yeah, and
is it on the wall yet?
It's on the. It was on the wall that night, babe.
Oh, right.
After I had. Oh yeah. I lie here now looking at him.
Yeah, well, I've got to tell everybody that Priscilla sent me a photograph of it on the wall, but I wasn't sure whether that was the permanent fixture or whether you just put it up for the photograph.
Yeah, did you like my caption?
Yes, I loved it.
Yeah, no, very good and a great show. And I did hear the Terry Blackwood interview, Steve.
Oh, yes.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was so engaging and so engaged. It was, it was like a little bromance between the two of you.
Ah, yeah, no, I really liked him. We were chatting before I pushed the big red record button, so there was more before it, and we really clicked, and just such a nice fella.
Well, and you know what? It was clear from what I heard that he was a genuinely good individual who did love and have great admiration for Elvis.
Yes, admiration as a person and admiration as an artist, as a singer as well.
Yeah. I'm sure Elvis had talents that
of course.
It was unfair that one human had all that in one person. Looked that good, sounded that good, was that good.
Yeah, he was he was the complete package, wasn't he?
Without sounding blasphemous in any shape or form, he was definitely the Holy Trinity, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, we've got the picture there from March 1960 up on the screen now, and it's just unbelievable to look at.
Yeah. Oh, heaven and oh God. Oh, I can't be looking at that now this hour of the evening.
Now, you have to have a cold shower now.
Don't enough water for that yet.
And then come out and see the canvas again and have to go back in again.
This could become a problem.
All right,
I showed it to my mom.
Oh, right.
Showed it to my mom. Oh my God, she goes, "Did you get me a present?" I thought I'm going to have to give it to her. And I went, no, not yet. I'm going to have to try and get some, because obviously my love for Elvis stemmed from her love for Elvis.
Yeah.
But she was very impressed, and I'm very grateful, Steve. It was really, really a lovely thing. I wasn't aware how happy I might have sounded until I heard that clip back.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it was just for anybody that missed it. I just couldn't resist, clipping it and then just sending it out. So, but everybody thought you were really great. You were really great.
Stop. Come here. Wait, I tell you, I was very happy. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Very happy.
We could tell. All right, Priscilla.
Just in case you didn't know. So,
yeah.
All right, Steve.
All the best.
Have a good week.
Same to you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Yes, that was Priscilla, last week's winner, who won the Elvis canvas. As you can tell, she's still on a high about it. Right. Thank you very, very much for joining me. And next up is Frankie and Johnny. That's the next on the list. And of course, we'll be doing all the other things that we normally do every week. Thanks very much for joining me. And if you do want to support the show, you can buy me a coffee using the link below. Until next week, look after yourselves.